budget. Lot of concepts are here. See, first of April, fiscal year, till 31st of March. Government will get money. This is not the beginning of the history. Government will get money from all these sources. Government will have to spend the money. And being a parliamentary democracy, there is need to take the permission of the Parliament to raise money and spend money for the upcoming year. Upcoming year. Budget is always for the upcoming year. So next year, which is going to commence 2 months from now, we are going to get money like this, we are going to spend money like this. That statement is the annual financial balance sheet, annual financial statement. Let the Parliament pass it so that next year we can raise money like this, spend money like this. Yeah. So that's the annual financial statement, Article 112. President is responsible, but the, President is authorized the Finance Minister to do it on his behalf. That's called the budget, annual financial statement. Article 112 says, President is responsible for getting it introduced in the Parliament, not Lok Sabha, Parliament. I don't know why. They should have said Lok Sabha, but Parliament, it's okay. Parliament, Lok Sabha. And all the money of yours, your budget, you have to show it in revenue account and you have to show it in other accounts. You know how we can trap you tomorrow? According to the Constitution, President of India is responsible for having the budget presented to whatever Parliament and all that, and classification of the monies within the budget have to be shown in the following way: revenue and capital, plan and non-plan, only revenue and other accounts, revenue and other. I'm going to show you 112 verbatim. I'm going to show you. So those were the days. Please go back to 47, 48. Rudimentary financial accounting systems. So revenue, everyone knows revenue, and others. Others have become capital. So capital account has no constitutional basis. Only revenue stream has constitutional basis. Okay. So I'll give you a step-by-step process. Step-by-step process. You won't believe if I tell you, you won't believe. We got independence in 47. Till 1999 Union budget, you know when the budget used to be presented? Time.
In the evening
5 p.m. Why?
Because in the British time when the is coming was at
London Stock Exchange opens at 5. So you present, and you say you are a sovereign, independent, this republic. 99 Swarna Jayanti, Swarojgar Yojana. That is when it struck our nationalists. Let's change the time. Let's present it 11. We have our own buoyant, booming stock exchange. And you were presenting the budget on the last working day of February. God knows why. God knows why. Then, these people come. When you're presenting the budget on the 28th of February, it'll take about 75 days to pass it, which will be middle of May. And by then 45 days of the fiscal year are over. Having passed it, draw the money. How can the corporate sector plan? You want capex. Capex is 10 lakh crores of rupees. For every buck you are spending, L&Ts of the world, Reliances and Adanis, they also spend some money. They should know what you are spending. So, If you can tell them well in advance, this is how much we're going to spend, they can also plan accordingly. And if you can pass your budget before the 31st of March, you can hit the ground running, start spending from the 1st of April, so that, after a lot of money that you've been granted is going unspent and lapsing. That's because your budget is passed in the middle of May. So present it on the 1st of March, 1st of Feb, push it before the fiscal year terminates, so that from the word go the next fiscal you can start operating on it, spending on it, corporates can plan, and generally what happens, this question can come in the prelim. This is November, this is November, winter is going to set in some time, whole of North India freezes, you hardly do too much work. So starting December, Jan, though you've frozen, it could start from mid-November for some people. It could go up to the mid of Feb, which is 3 months, 90 days are gone. And then you know what you do? You have lot of money unspent. You have little time left. There's a thing called March rush. In the month of March, you take the money in the helicopter and drop it wherever it goes. And that means wasteful expenditure. Therefore, you need to ensure that your budget is passed in time, number one. Corporates can plan, number two. You can start operating from 1st of April, which is the beginning of the fiscal, number three. And there is no March rush, number four. Everything is well spent and targeted and all that. For all this, budgetary reforms have taken place. One more reform. This strange thing called railway budget. Those days, for looting to become simple, they had to keep aside a railway budget and all that. Britishers. Now, how is railways any different? Defense is important. Agriculture is important. Social welfare is important. How is railways more important? At any rate, you are a big political leader. I can't make you Home Minister or Finance Minister. You'll be, tough to handle. But you need to be given extra respect compared to other ministers. Railway, Lalu Yadav, railway. Because everything else is not big enough for him. Railway. So, it's become a political ministry, unlike other ministries which are also political, but this is only political. Planning becomes difficult, bifurcation takes place, etc., etc. So, we have this giant of the Prime Minister who can call shots, dictate, he told them. Forget all this nonsense, railway budget, etc. Let's get holistic. Let's have the entire budget in one. When you had railway budget, this was the general budget. And this was the railway budget. 100 rupees is all that you are getting and spending. In that, 15 bucks are for railways. It's not that railway budget is being shown separately, like you can do the same thing with rural development also. Same money, it's not that only railways, if railway wants more money, you can take it from consolidated fund. Railway money goes into CFI. Railway money comes out of CFI. There is no separate fund for railways. It's just being shown separately, that's all. Why? People will see, okay, railways are getting only 10, but you are spending 15, you are borrowing 5. Why all this unnecessary attention? Merge and have a holistic plan. That is Modi closed it. Vivek Debroy committee. From 17-18, there is only one budget, the general budget, there is no railway budget. Now, so let's get the step-by-step account of how the railway budget, how the budgetary process kicks in. This is November, Jan 31 or 30, the budget session will come. The President will tell all of you, come 30th of Jan or 31st of Jan, 30th, 29, 30, that depends on. It will be interim budget, it will not be regular budget. Interim budget means, see, when you are having Lok Sabha elections in the month of April, you may be Bahubali, but that has to be confirmed legally. You may come back and you keep coming back, but for that law has to show that yeah, you've been elected. So when you are presenting the budget on the 1st of February, you can't present a budget like it is a normal year, non-election year. Non-election year, whatever you want to do, you do. Why? You are the government, you got the people, Lok Sabha supports you fully. But here you are presenting a budget for the upcoming fiscal in which you are there only for 1 month that I can see, April. In the May you may not be there, you may be there, we don't know. So you please be modest, present interim budget, just show the numbers, receipts and expenditure, so that certain things can happen, I'll tell you. Don't introduce huge tax reforms and stuff. Why? That's done only by a representative government. Your credentials are yet to be confirmed. So interim budget, you have only receipts and expenditure as projected without major fiscal interventions. You can say we're going to divest for 1 lakh crores, 2 lakh crores, you can say what you like, but you are not divested. But if you change the tax rates and all that, but then these rules don't apply to our Honorable Prime Minister. Because of the majority. See, if you've got 200 members and you are looking around for rest of it, then you know what happens? You have to lie low. A whole gang of 15 parties have to approve what you are doing. You will be extremely careful to follow the law, convention, propriety, morality, all that. You are sitting on 300. What is it? You will make your own, establish your own it's a separate hormonal system once you have 300. Yeah. So what did he do in 19? An election year, he should have not done all that. He said Kisan Samman Yojana, that is tax rates left, right and center. He did all that. That's because your majority makes you, sets your behavior. Generally, in the interim budget, because of the upcoming elections, propriety. What is propriety? Public perception of morality. That is propriety. Tomorrow you are the district collector. There is some propriety about your behavior. Will you go to a hotel and drink there? Like this, if you... People look up to you. You are the first citizen of the district. Not the MP, not the MLA. You are the face of the district. So you have to accordingly, conduct yourself. Yeah? Okay. You can't say I'm a modern man, all. Similarly, public expectations of your morality are clear. You have to conform to that. That's propriety. This propriety thing can come in the ethics examination. Propriety. You see? So propriety demands that you don't present a full budget, you present interim budget. Then our friend will ask, why present budget at all? I'll tell you why. This you please, understand. This is the budget. This is the fiscal year, April to March. This is the budget. Now, so April has come in, May has come in, June has come, July has come, So, elections April and May. 22nd of May you will get the election result. 29th of May Modi will be sworn in again. 29th of May. 29th of May Nirmala Sitharaman becomes the longest serving finance minister, this and that. It's okay, she's around for a long while, she knows everything about public finance, government of India finance. Let's assume Rahul Gandhi becomes the Prime Minister. It's possible. Chidambaram, comes back as the Finance Minister. Chidambaram, he was a Finance Minister in ancient times. After that, a lot has happened. He doesn't know anything, he can't recognize the offices. So let him settle down. Let him open the almirahs. See what is there. It will take him June. Though of course he is a quick learner and familiar atmosphere. So the next budget for the full fiscal will be presented only sometime early June, by when you will have settled down, and then it will be passed, and only from the 1st of August it can kick in. Till then you have to have some money sanctioned by the Parliament. So on the 1st of Feb, when you are presenting the interim budget, on the 1st of Feb, you are basically telling them numbers. See, I am expecting 49 lakh crores of rupees to come into my CFI, like this, like this, like this, like this. And this is how I am going to spend 49 lakh crores. This is the budget. And once you tell 49 lakh, I'll make it 50 for a round number. 50 lakhs of crores of rupees is going to be in the CFI across the year. That's the size of my budget upcoming year. 50 lakh crores of rupees. From that 50 lakh crores of rupees, 1/3. Shall I make it 51 so that 1/3? 50. Okay. 50 lakh crores of rupees is what I'm going to get. Yeah. There'll be no budget. There'll be no budget. It'll be passed only by the end of July, and from 1st of August there'll be a parliamentarily sanctioned budget. Please give me money April, May, June, July, so that I can run the government and present a budget and get it passed, and the new budget will kick in from the 1st of August. Till then I want money. So this is the 50 lakhs of crores is the expenditure for next year. For me to carry on for 4 months, you need to give me 4 months worth of the expenditure. Of the 50 lakhs of crores of rupees, 4 months is 1/3, 50 by 1/3 gets you some 17 lakhs. Yeah. So it's a working number for you to know how much you have to grant to the government to carry on till the next budget, full budget, comes into play. Got it? That is why you are saying this is won't you inflate it so that you'll get more money? These are the perks any government will have. If it is 49, you make it 52 so that you'll get more money. Splurge more. Otherwise you won't work hard. So this is the reason why this is called vote on account. Article 116, vote on account. For those people who want formulae to remember, simply Voice of America you remember. So it becomes vote on account. Vote on account. Vote on account is a mechanism whereby certain amount of money is granted to the government without any, before the passage of the budget, certain amount of money granted to the government, vote on account, so that they will run the government till the budget is available. Remember one thing, earlier before Modi started presenting the budget on the 1st of Feb, which is 17-18, the budget used to be passed, as I told you, in the middle of May. So till 16-17, every year's budget had a vote on account, that is for 2 months. This interim budget would have 4 months. Yeah? Yeah. So, but then this budget is coming in from the 1st of Feb, so there is no need for vote on account anymore except in a election year. You got it or? Yeah. See, till 16-17 what was happening? Yeah? Budget was getting presented on the last working day of Feb, and you will pass it by the middle of May. Which means what? From 1st of April till the 31st of May, 2 months, where is the parliamentary sanction for money? Budget is passed till the 5th. The money that you got as sanctioned by Parliament, the Consolidated Fund of India has lot of money. but the permission to take that money from the consolidated expired by the middle of the night of 31st of March, because 1 of April kicked in and the earlier sanction lasted only till the end of the fiscal year. Where is the money? Water everywhere, not a drop to drink. Consolidated Fund of India is overflowing, but parliamentary permission is not there to draw the money and keep going. So as a precaution, Parliament under Article 116 by the name of vote on account, as a convention 2 months, as a convention. 2 months is a convention, rest is law. 2 months worth of expenditure will give you, keep going, April and May, and by then your parliamentary sanction is ready and all the money is yours. So that was because you couldn't pass the budget till the middle of May. Now you are passing the budget before the fiscal year ends. So that vote on account on an annual basis for 2 months worth of expenditure, there is no need anymore. But there is need only when So you got the logic? Yeah? I think she is reading 116. Yeah? You reading Article 116? Yeah? Then what are you reading? Oh, you wonderful. People, cross check also. A class. Yeah, good. Okay. So now it's clear, because vote on account hasn't come for a while. It could come, vote on account. Because the examiner is one who is operating the system, he knows quite easily to set the right multiples options. So are you confident you can't be tricked? Yeah? Okay. So these are the budgetary reforms that have taken place. Tomorrow a lovely question can come. I don't know why it hasn't come yet. What are the major budgetary reforms in the last decade? You said is railway budget gone, budget presentation on the 1st of February, pushed before the fiscal year ends, vote on account is gone except there is an election year, and there is one more also, if I can tell you. In the middle of 70s, Mrs. Gandhi was there, she had concern for development. Populistic, but some bit of genuineness is also there. You know what she did? We covered this actually in the fiscal policy. This is revenue, this is capital. A lot of revenue is also development, remember, subsidies and all that. And this is capital. In the capital, some money is used up to repay the loan, and rest of the money is for roads and buildings. So here there is development, here there is development. You give money to the state and the state builds a road. It may not be capital for you, it's capital for state. You show it as revenue, but it's anything but revenue, it's capital, because the states to whom you are granting the money are using it for roads and buildings. So there are roads and buildings here, roads and buildings here. There are schools here. Salary of the teachers of a school, revenue, but school building, capital. There's synergy here. So Mrs. Gandhi had terrific advisors. They told her, Madam, revenue capital is fine. Let's subdivide revenue and capital into plan, non-plan. And they explained to her. She said, okay, go ahead, lovely idea. But then this lovely idea had unlovely, unintended, perverse consequences. I'll tell you how. It seems in Uttar Pradesh, I read long time back. Or I'll give you a simpler example. You build a road, capital expenditure. You want to tell the world you are building the road, you are cutting a ribbon and then all that. You built a road, 100 crores, but you are not taking care of the road. Why? Revenue expenditure. Building the road, capital expenditure. If you start incurring expenditure for maintenance of the road more and more, then you will have revenue deficit beyond a certain level. Don't take care of the road. Tell the world I'm building a road, capital expenditure. If you take care of the road, it means expenditure, that will be revenue expenditure, that will bloat your revenue deficit and world won't like it. Yeah, you got the targets. UP example I'll come to. Lots and lots of it. Safdarjung Hospital. Deadly equipment they bought. 100 crores equipment. 10 crores equipment they bought. But they are not taking care of it because buying is capital, taking care is revenue, and that's rusting. UP hospital, somewhere, I don't get the district's name. You know, in UP they built a lovely hospital. But except a receptionist in that hospital, there is nothing. Beds are there. Patients are not there. Doctors, nurses, nothing else. Receptionist is there. Receive whom? Why? All that is revenue expenditure. They are not ready for it because FRBM doesn't let them incur revenue expenditure beyond a level. Yeah? Build a hospital, leave it there. Building is capital. Tell the world hospital built, 100-bed hospital built, 500-bed, super specialty. So, you know, capital development, capital revenue is fine. Development, non-development, plan, non-plan. Plan, non-plan. So, revenue capital is okay, plan, non-plan. Non-plan expenditure is salary, and you need to confine that to a certain level. So, the plan, non-plan distinction within revenue as well as capital led to distortions in asset creation and maintenance. And Rangarajan committee was set up. He said no. At any rate, there is no plan. When you don't even have a 5-year plan, how can you bifurcate the expenditure into plan, non-plan? That is how it so happened that plan, non-plan got discarded. 1st of Feb instead of last working day. Railway merged with general, and then the whatever I've told you, rest of it. These are super time reforms in the budgetary process that we have seen. How much time? 15 minutes. Okay. Okay. So these are kickstarters. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of it as it happens. On the 1st of, I told you, 29th or so, President, it's called summon. In the Parliament calendar, budget session in the calendar year, monsoon, then winter. Any other special session? Is it there in the Constitution? No. Is it there in the law? No. That's how conventionally it's done. So budget session begins late in Jan. President calls you come. That via the Lok Sabha, via the Rajya Sabha you get called, summoned. Day one is the day one. The President of India, now the Parliament building is big. All of you can sit in, maybe in the Lok Sabha itself all of you can sit. So President will say, whatever she'll say. That is day one. If the Parliament is meeting on the 31st as day one, 1st of Feb is the budget. 1st of Feb. So at 11 o'clock, Honorable Finance Minister gets up to ask the Honorable Speaker, Sir, may I have leave of the House? I want to present the budget. Okay, present. So you start talking. Quotations and all that. For an hour and a half, part A carries on, in which, as I told you, you explain what you've done, agriculture, industry, India we thought will become the fourth largest, but then already, pre-announced. 1 year before we became the 5th largest, Arun Jaitley said we are already 5th largest. So you say what it is. Poverty, inequality, women, organic farming, all that. You say 1.5 hour over, fiscal deficit. After that, you will present a finance bill. Finance bill, for which you require the leave again. Sir, I want to present the finance bill. Oh, leave, okay. In that, taxes and all that. Finance bill means tax. So you introduce on the 1st of February After that, what happens is, budget is a very serious document. You know, you can't understand budgetary documents, all that she is coming with a laptop these days, Bahi Khata and all that, laptop. Earlier, truckload, so many. So, 2-3 days of adjournment. It's all in the Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha is also there, but Rajya Sabha presentation is here, introduction is here. Rajya Sabha, these guys are sitting still there. And once the presentation is over, the chairman adjourns it for 2-3 days. Speaker adjourns it. Adjournment means postponement of the proceedings. Yeah? Why will you postpone? You know, you postpone because, see, you have to go home and understand. Just like you guys have to go home and understand, they also have to go home and understand. A lot of members won't be able to understand. So they require the services of bureaucrats, ex-bureaucrats and all that. So 2-3 days it will take for you to digest what's going on. After that you come back. After that, the session resumes and there is a general discussion for some days. Some days there will be a general discussion. But general discussion means general discussion. You say this budget is consumption oriented, investment oriented, whatever you want to say, you say. And that will carry on for a week or 10 days. It used to be 15 days when the process was much longer. So what date are you looking at? 10th of Feb, 12th, 11th, 12th, 13th, somewhere there. Then you get up to go for a recess. Recess means, see, this is the parliament. Huge budget is presented. So many ministries are there, about 50 ministries are there, 49, 50. Some big like home and finance, commerce, industry, and some renewable, whatever, panchayati raj. Parliament left to itself, Lok Sabha left to itself cannot handle the details. So from 1993, which is exactly 30 years back, a rule was changed in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. A rule was made that there will be departmentally related standing committees, number 1. It will have 31 members, number 2. 21 from Lok Sabha and 10 from Rajya Sabha, number 3. As nominated by the respective, presiding officers, number 4. There will be 24 committees, number 5. And in that given 20, 25, 30 days in the recess, this is the committee for the home ministry. 21 members. All of you pour into every detail and present a report. Finance Ministry, Agriculture Ministry, Industries Ministry. 31 members. Because Lok Sabha left to, when did you see Lok Sabha function? It doesn't function because it's a popular house, emotional house. So, they go into debates, all sorts of pandemonium. So there is a committee, departmental standing committee. They will go into, the money that each ministry wants. Not each ministry. Follow me carefully, another question waiting to come. This is one ministry, there are 50 ministries. This is another ministry. Yeah? Let us say this is Finance Ministry. This is Agriculture Ministry. The salaries of some CAG and all that, Finance Ministry says, give me 100 rupees. Give me 100 rupees. From that 100 rupees, 1 rupee for CAG. Another rupee for, just one example. Ministry of Law and Justice, give me 100. 5 rupees to maybe the Supreme Court. 1 rupee for pensions of the High Court judges who retired. So in my ministry, be it finance ministry has huge charged expenditure. Why? It is the ministry that has to repay the loan taken. It is the ministry that has to pay the interest on the loan that they have taken. Yeah? So Finance Ministry, I want Lok Sabha to give me 100 rupees. In that, maybe 45 rupees is for charged expenditure. Yeah? Finance Ministry. Agriculture Ministry has no charged expenditure. So expenditure, Finance Ministry charged is one thing, demand for grant is another. Demand for grant. So, this is the Finance Ministry, this is charged, this is demand for grant. If this is Agriculture Ministry, the entire thing is demand for grant. Remember one thing, every ministry, I am Rural Development Ministry, you are the Lok Sabha. I come to you, I ask you, give me 50,000 crores of rupees. What will I do? Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak, Krishi Sinchai, all that I'll do. I'm the Ministry of Agriculture, or Rural Development, whatever. So what is the name given to the money I want you to sanction me for the upcoming year for my expenditure? Demand for grant. Demand for grant. What is demand for grant? It is the money that each ministry wants the Lok Sabha to sanction for its expenditure for the upcoming year. What are the rules about it? Two rules are there. Presidential recommendation, Lok Sabha. It's a demand for grant, it's not a bill. I've got the president to recommend that I be given 50,000 crores of rupees by the Lok Sabha. Demand for grant? Yeah. Now, but Finance Ministry says, give me 60 rupees of demand for grant. Also, I want another 40 rupees because I have certain charged expenditure to meet. See? I have charged expenditure, charged, and I have demand for grant like everybody else. So what is the total budgetary expenditure? Charged and demand for grant. All expenditure is divisible into two categories. One, charged. Demand for grant everyone has. Charged only some ministries have. Together they make up the entire budgetary expenditure. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because for charged expenditure there is no voting at all. Discuss. It will become a part of the money bill. On that they will be voting, but that will be too formal. So the departmentally related standing committees, what will they do? You know what they'll do? As I told you, you are the Ministry of Home, departmentally related standing committee. That 1 lakh crores of rupees that the ministry is asking the Lok Sabha, look into that. Look into that. Charged expenditure don't look into. Whether you want, what are you doing about the security of the Northeast? You want so much of money? Whatever you want to say, you say. Take 25 days. Work hard, make a report, and when the Parliament resumes after the recess, present your report. Speaker appointed the chairman, give your report to the speaker. Chairperson appointed Rajya Sabha, you give the report to him. Of the 24 committees, 8 are headed by Rajya Sabha members, 16 regular details. What's the value of the report? It's not binding. The value of the report is only persuasive. Ministry of Home Affairs will read that. Okay, good suggestions. We can act on this. We have acted on this. For now, we can't act on this for the following reasons. So, what date are you looking at? You are right now around the second week of March. So, you are back in action. Lok Sabha is back. Still, the action is in Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha is still a spectator. Lok Sabha is with action. So, Lok Sabha will have to vote on the demands for grants of ministries. After all, it's a popular house. Controller of Finance, all that. So you guys will decide, the Speaker, Leader of Opposition, Prime Minister, who is the Leader of the House. You people will decide. We are already on the 8th or 10th of March. Time is running out. And okay, 2-3 days time we can spare for. Already 25 days you have discussed and produced the report. 2-3 days time we can spare for discussing the demands for grants and voting on them. Charged is not votable. Yeah. Now what? Ministry of Home. Okay, Ministry of Home. Ministry of Rural. Labor. So some ministries are, in the popular perception, very important politically. So you guys decide, rural development, commerce industry, whatever. Let's discuss the demand for grant of these ministries individually, 3 hours. So on the 12th of March at 2 o'clock in the afternoon till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we will discuss the demands for grants of the Ministry of Home Affairs. Yeah, 3 hours. Now what happens? There are some members, call them opposition members, but Constitution doesn't call them opposition members. Not Constitution, law. Not even statute, it's a rule. Rule of the Lok Sabha. You know what it says? You are an opposition member, opposition party. Everyone knows. Constitution doesn't say, law doesn't say you are opposition. Anyone can move, cut motions. 1 lakh crore you want? I don't see the nation much more secure for 1 lakh crores of rupees. The nation should be 100% secure. So your demand for grant is your demand for grant is 100,000 crores. She says, she's a Lok Sabha member, she says, I'm not happy. I will bring in a cut motion. You know what she says? You want 1 lakh crores of rupees? The way you messed up the country, I will give you 1 rupee. You wanted 1 lakh crore, I'll give you 1 rupee, I'll give just 1 rupee. Why? It's a total mess. So she'll go to the Speaker. Madam, I want permission to move the cut motion. The discretion of the Speaker is 100%. Speaker says, no, your request is turned down, that's it. That's it. There is no way you can get around the Speaker's rejection of your request for moving cut motion. That is I said 1 lakh crores to 1 rupee. That's called disapproval of policy cut. Disapproval of the policy cut. Then she says, you know what she says? You know, it's wonderful. You know, so look at India, there is no case of terrorism at all. Superb. We pushed back China, taught lesson to Pakistan, all that. But still, sir, you could have done a little better. So I would like to move a cut motion. Go to the Speaker. It's called token cut motion. Sir, you wanted 1 lakh crores of rupees. From that, I would like to deduct 100 rupees. You wanted 1 lakh? I'll give you 99,000, whatever. 100 rupee note I'll take. Go ask the Speaker. Madam, can I? She says, no, nothing doing. Just go home. Go sit in your place like school children. If she says okay, we'll come to that. As of now, I'm taking it for granted that she'll say no. Yes case, I'll come to. Token cut is reduced by 100. I'm okay but not okay. 100 symbolically. It's a message I'm sending that you could be better. You know what she will say? Oh, 1 lakh crore you want, you know. I think that the kind of work you're doing is doable with 95,000 crores. 5,000 you are spending in excess wastefully. With 95 you could be just as good. So I'm applying a top economy cut motion. I want to economize. push you towards greater efficiency. And so I want to move a cut motion, economy cut motion, cut down X amount of money, and the number I have chosen is 5,000 crores. Yeah. So one, disapproval of policy cut, devastation, reduced to a buck. Two, token cut, all is well, not all is well, $100 down. She will say, I will, economize. All three of you go to the speaker and see if the speaker says, okay, you're okay, otherwise, So, now we have assumed that she said no. If she says yes, in the Lok Sabha, which is my house, I've got 300 people, what can they do and all that. So she says, okay, go ahead. Remember, you reducing the whole thing to a buck. She's saying, I'll just take $100 away. She's saying 5,000 crores of rupees down. Doesn't matter. I'll tell you why it doesn't matter. Whether it matters or not, you'll find out when the motion is accepted. If the speaker tells you go ahead, if you go ahead, then the action begins. March 13, 2 o'clock, when the demand for grants of the Ministry of Home Affairs is being discussed, debated, voted, cut motion will be introduced. Any of 3 cut motions? Cut motion will be introduced. What do you assume? It will be rejected. Lok Sabha is their house, government house. But then it's possible that there could be, a political earthquake and the government could lose. Government could lose. Then what happens? We don't know because it's never happened. Some people say it's a speaker who allowed you to introduce it. She had the choice of rejecting your appeal for cut motion also. So when the introduction itself is contingent on the speaker's discretion, what value should the cut motion carry? Yeah? Some people say, what is this? The government has lost. Some people say, Finance Minister has to resign. Some people, these are the choices. Should the government resign? The government resigns only when the no confidence motion is passed. There is no other motion that can make the government resign if it loses it. You got it? Yeah?
You said if the government loses.
Cut motion.
No.
No confidence motion. Which motion?
You said that cut motion can be passed.
If the cut motion is successfully passed, what is the outcome? I said there are 2 schools of thought because legally there is nothing said. If you push it, then what should happen? One thing we know that if your thing is carried out, Home Ministry will get 1 rupee. How will the government run? So, basically, it's possible that some people voted with you on the cut motion, but for a no confidence motion they'll vote with the government. It's possible. So a lot of possibilities are there. Behind the curtain what happens, I'm sure you can imagine far better. Yeah? But technically speaking, in Britain the convention is that the Finance Minister resigns, convention. In India we've never passed it, so we don't know, law doesn't say anything. But the government need not resign because the resignation of the government is warranted only when the no confidence motion is passed, that's all. So, she wanted it, you wanted it reduced to 1 rupee. She wanted only $100 taken away. She wanted a 5,000 crore thing taken away. How does it matter, you please tell me? Even if her motion is passed and 100 rupees reduced, government in its own house, government in its own house has lost such a vital motion. So that will become, there'll be only headline there, every newspaper, even though Darshan will talk about it, this and that. So the effectiveness of the cut motion, irrespective of the name of the motion, cut motion, will be devastating on the government. Your case is reducing it to a buck. It will be senseless to carry on. But that's only a technicality. Yeah? So cut motion. You never go through with the cut motion. So cut motion is done. Then you see what happens. 50 ministries are there. You got only 2-3 days time because the time is short. Session is already, 40 days are over, 45 days are over. Time is running out. So the speaker, Prime Minister, these people will decide. Let's bunch up all the remaining demands for grants. We have already discussed 2 or 3. Time is already up, and let's bunch them up. Let's apply the closure motion. And one type of closure motion is a guillotine. All these 47, 48 ministries of demands for grants that we don't have the time to discuss separately, put them together, apply the closure motion. Some member will move closure motion. The debate is closed. Then guillotine the debate and then put the motion to vote. People will say, yeah, that means all the demands for grants of all the ministries are passed. And so what has happened? You got the permission of the Lok Sabha to spend 50 lakhs crores of rupees. Yeah? You got it? 50 lakh crores of rupees? Now, but the 50 lakh crores of rupees have to come from somewhere. That bill is still not passed. Yeah? That bill is still not passed. So next bit is pass the finance bill. After that I can collect the taxes and all that. And now that you got the permission to draw 50 lakhs of crores of rupees and spend, you got the permission? Will you right away bring the appropriation bill and take away this? 50 lakh is not there. It will be filled up in a year. So you get the appropriation bill to take all the 50 lakhs of crores of rupees across the year, and that will be lots of technicalities will be there, what time they start. So you got the Lok Sabha telling you your 50 lakhs of crores of rupees is granted. After that, come with an appropriation. It's a demand for grant. It's not a bill. You got the permission of the president, you got this into Lok Sabha, you got the Lok Sabha's clearance. Then you come with appropriation bill. That will also be passed. So for the whole year, as the money drops into the CFI, you got the permission to draw it like the parliament. So finally finance bill is passed and huge headache over for another year. So that's how the budget gets passed. That's a chronology. Now is the time for you to look into Dharmendra ji, enlighten us, graphics. We'll begin with 112, yeah, please. Tomorrow we are meeting. Yeah. Everything I told you, everything. Don't even have to read this. See, revenue account from other. Yeah, okay. Economic survey, what is economic survey? Right now they must have started writing. Lots of guys are there, research officers. Chief Economic Advisor works under the Ministry of Finance, the Finance Minister, sort of. So what is economic survey? Performance of the economy in the year gone by is discussed and accounted for. Shortcomings pointed out. Advantages highlighted. Policy suggestions given. That's a book. government book. The only people who read it are the civil service aspirants and the journalists. What is there in the economic survey? You please tell. It's a highly doctored book. Yeah. Instead, you read something by Bloomberg, etc. So, but still, we all read it. I'm going to read it thoroughly because, for my profession, it helps. So, that's economic survey. It has what value does it have? It's a government survey of the economy in the year gone by. That's all policy says that. You could take a look. I told you whatever I told you. I'm sure it will have all that. Some people look for a link, economic survey presented on 31st of Jan. Budget on the 1st of February link. What link will be there? Was, he, she. What link will be there? You tell me, will somebody reveal the budget? He is liable to be prosecuted. Suggestions may influence. Suggestions are made on the 31st of March. Budget was prepared by 1st of January. But you have to see, you have to join the orchestra. If you say this, but it's up to you. I respect your intelligence enormously. I'll never be guilty of interfering with it. No. Next. He may also get a little general knowledge, like he'll ask you the year from when it kicked in. You should please understand one thing. Whatever he's going to ask you from our lectures, from the book, from the Hindu, from the MCQs, it's impossible it will be outside that. Either directly or, one step of thinking. That's 100%. 100%. You will be so pleasantly surprised. You're okay? Yeah, next. Everything I told you. Still having discussed this much, we have not discussed all those supplementary demands, additional, exceptional, excess, token, that we have not discussed. So even after discussing this long, we still have one more class focused on the financial part. Yeah? One full class to go. Maybe not a full class. Tomorrow. How many questions came in the preliminary of 23 about the election of the president? 2-3 came. 2-3 questions on the election of the president. And just check into the big book and see if anything is outside our book. It has to be from there. So first time you have this context where you are 100% taken care of. The harder you work, the higher the result. 100%. Earlier aspirants were confused. कहाँ से आएगा, क्या पढ़ना है, कुछ भी मालूम नहीं, सो जाओ. You see, now you have, and your energy meets its match. Yeah? Which is a lovely condition. Next. 79 gone. Departmentally related. You would like to go through them now? Is my time still there intact? It's fresh tomorrow. We'll start with that. Or You have bundles of energy still. Go through this. This question came in the main examination, possibly last year or the year before last. There is no student who remembers all this. You heard from me? If you spend 1 minute on organizing it and present that, with your own brilliant common sense, the topper. Don't have to read all this. Whatever you heard from me, and you. So right now your preparation has become lovable, enjoyable, as good as being in Labasna. I'm trying, and I'm 1000% sure, we'll be able to do it. As of now, you got your new books you got? They are highly dependable. You treat them like Bibles. More will come. Those books and this. Oh, departmentally related, everything I told you, everything. There are standard rules that a minister can't be a member, but that's wrong. It's not that a minister can't be a member. Minister can be a member, but he can't vote. Here, this separate committee for this can be a good question. There has to be a committee for Ministry of Labour and Welfare, and there have to be two committees, one for Ministry of Commerce and Industry is a single ministry, but it was combined from two. So there has to be one DRSC for this, one DRSC for this. These are the rules they have laid down. It's not in the constitution, it's not in a statute passed, act of the parliament. Rules of procedure and conduct of business, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, that's where they are. Everything I told you. Next. Cut motions, please have a look. This is classically how you guys write, the covering line, to guide the government spending and policy making. You will say fiscal integrity, she will say fiscal discipline, she will say something else, covering line. That is what differentiates the big guy, men and boys. Men. If you don't write this, boys. Yeah? In the cut motion, you have to be specific. Not all these personal grievances. I don't like, aspersions. The other day I saw you there. Nonsense. It has to be specificity, relevance to one demand only. Home, agriculture, this, that. Reflecting on character matter. Court, if something is there in the court, that can't be there as a part of your subject matter for cut motion. All this is amenable to your imagination. These are three types of cut motion. Vote on account is waiting to come, in my view. Demand for grant is always evergreen. So, we can see. Next, One we have seen. All this we have seen. Tomorrow we are coming back to complete the financial picture